We knew what it was like. I knew what I was getting myself into a little bit, but not entirely for sure. Yo guys, what's going on? It's Vedant, and today I got a little bit of a special video for you guys. I'm gonna be reacting to my first ever high school cross-country race. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I hope this can be insightful for any new runners that are watching this video. You also get to see what experiences I went through and the things I learned from that. So before we get into the video, I want to give you guys some background information about what this meet's like and everything you need to know about it. To start off, this meet is actually hosted by the Woodlands. And if you don't run cross country and or you don't live in Texas, the Woodlands is a really good team from Texas. They host a really nice meet called Friday Night Lights, and it's a meet with a lot of reputation and a lot of hype. It's like a mini state meet. It already has like a lot of the best teams that are projected to do the best in the state at that meet, and it's in the very beginning of the season. So you kind of get to see where all the teams scale against each other. A really competitive race, but it's definitely a lot of fun. So as you can probably tell by the name Friday Night Lights, we raced when it was really dark outside. It was probably around 10 p.m. when we raced, and that's really late because a lot of cross-country runners actually have to wake up pretty early, because I know a lot of people's practice starts very early in the morning, so 10 p.m. is like almost bedtime. So I remember being quite tired. I just felt like sleeping at that point. I was ready to race, but I was not in that zone, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, we had to travel a few hours to get down there. The distance between where I live and the Woodlands is about 5 hours on the bus. And before the meet started, it was actually raining a ton, like a lot. The rain was really bad, and I'm pretty sure it also thundered quite a bit just a few hours before the race started. We were all kind of anxious before anything even began. We didn't know if the race would continue. If it still thundered, obviously it can't happen. We didn't want that. And on the other hand, if the race did continue, it would be really muddy. Spoiler, it was really muddy. So let me tell you a little bit about myself before the race began. This meet was on mid to late August, I believe, and whole summer before it, we'd been preparing, and I remember having really good summer training, so I was pretty confident in that sense that my training would carry me through. We'll just have to see if that really happened. For this race, I was actually at the very beginning stage of my injury. That was my first stress fracture. I didn't really know what a stress fracture was at the time. I kind of thought I was invincible. Shout out to the Invincible squad. Oh my god, that was cringe. Okay. Yeah, but I really didn't think I'd get injured at all, which is funny because of everything that I've been through now. And I actually popped some pills before this race. Yeah, guys, I know, pretty crazy. But no, I'm just joking. I only took one Advil, guys. I don't drug up for races or anything like that. At least not yet, but I'm joking, guys. But I was a little nervous before this race. I kind of knew what it was like to race against fast people. We did quite a few time trials, and our school went to a summer camp that had a lot of fast runners. This race was actually 4 kilometers, which is a little strange of a distance, to be honest. I don't think there's any other race that I have run that's 4K besides this race. I was just ready to take off once that gun shot off. And I was also put in varsity A. Definitely not a flex. So without further ado, let's get into this race. So 6 seconds in, and we can already spot a team that is shouting. This is kind of what you gotta expect at XC meets early in the season. You got teams like this that try to hype each other up, and it's kind of funny, not gonna lie. They try to act alpha, but it's not fooling anyone except for themselves. I recommend not going for this strategy. I don't think this helps you much, but hey, if that's what you want, man, XC, you just gotta love it. You just have to love it. Alright, so that's Flower Mound. Flower Mound was actually ranked number 3 in the nation based off their early season times. They had a really great early season. I recognized a lot of teams from here, even before my first meet. Okay, so we're off. The gun went off, and as you can see, fast start to a fast race. Unfortunately, something really bad happened to me. So the first 50 meters, it's like a flat, leveled ground, and then all of a sudden there's this little uphill. I knew about this uphill before the race even began, and I still fell, and I flipped over that uphill, and I ended up flipping onto my back, which is not one of the best positions you want to get into when you're in a race full of, full of people. Everyone's just sprinting around, so luckily I didn't endure any injuries of that sort. I could have, honestly. Maybe the Advil helped me out there. Yeah, I can't see myself in here. So there's a part in there that they didn't actually put in. It's like this forest area, and I remember that being a really tough spot because I was winded after falling down and I had to sprint to catch up to the group that I wanted to be with. I kind of let that bother me. And through the forest area, it's just packed with guys, and there's no lights in that area. So as you can imagine, it's really dark, there's a bunch of people, and people are just trying to like move through as fast as possible. So there's a lot of pushing and shoving, and I remember that I wasn't even touching the ground for some of that time. I was actually being carried. But yeah, I really don't expect to see myself. I see a few of my teammates in that front pack. But yeah, most of my teammates are off to a good start, which is good to hear. Around this part of the video, that's like where I was projected to be. You can't really see me right now because I'm like tiny compared to all of these guys, but I was like tucked away in a corner over there. Not a fun time. Yeah, some teammates came in right then. You can actually hear from this video some of the team moms are actually screaming at them. Yeah, this is where I wanted to be at the time. We got a little trio going on here. Couldn't really see myself there because I was so far behind. So for those of you guys who want to do XC or have been doing XC, I really hope you didn't have as brutal of a wake-up call as I did after this race. I kind of experienced a lot, especially with the injury. But yeah, this part of the course was really muddy, and it's even worse when there's like a horde of people just running straight through it. Because like when there's a lot of people running through it, you have to go through the middle, most likely. But yeah. Yo, what's up guys? This is Vedant while I'm editing this video. So you might be thinking, where was Vedant in all of this? And to be truthful, I don't know. Like, I was not in any of this footage, so like, what's the point of this video? Well, there is a point, so please stay. So after I was done reacting to that, I actually looked at our interview, and the following clip is all you need to know about our interview.
So how's your Hall freshman?
Okay, so now that that clip is taken care of, here are some of the things that I learned from this race and some things that can be translated into the real world. So let me just put my camera down. It doesn't matter if you fall, it matters if you get back up. Now, I'm sure this is something you've heard before, but this can be taken quite literally from my race. I fell, and I did my best to get back up. So in real life, you will always face some type of adversity, but what really matters is that you bounce back from it, recover from it, and keep pursuing what you want to do. The second thing is do your best. Now, I felt like I did pretty good with this in this race. I think I gave it my all. I couldn't even look straight after I finished, so I think that's a good sign. But doing your best is something that the mind and the body has to be disciplined at to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, and it's a really hard thing at first. Sometimes you might feel like giving up, but it's really important to not give up and always do your best. The third thing that I learned is do not bother over your results if you tried your best. Ultimately, your best is your best, and you can't outdo your best because it's your best. And lastly, the thing that I learned and the thing that I struggled with was be aggressive. So through this race, I kind of learned what it meant by being aggressive. You gotta really push for what you want, and I guess in the real world, if the opportunity is in front of you, you should always do your best to pursue it. So guys, that concludes this video. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like it and subscribe while you're at it. It really means a lot for the boy. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.